Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures. Today I want to talk about slimes. And if you're of a certain age and style of game preference, when you think slimes, you may think of things like this. And I got into a long and bitter argument with my kid about the fact that there are no red slimes. He later clarified that technically this is orange. And yes, there are orange slimes, but not pure red. They tend to be orange. But that's not what we're going to exactly talk about today. I've shown you guys some of Dragon Trappers Lodge's new army rollouts that they've been doing in conjunction with one-page rules, having, full army lists available for you tabletop wargamers. And that's what we're going to end up talking about today, because yet again, we're 3 for 3 at this point, and who knows what the future holds, but I am absolutely loving the fact that Dragon Trappers Lodge is continuing to put out armies that you didn't know you needed. And yes, we're going with a slime theme today. I don't know what they were thinking, but it works. It works, and it's like, I'm going to have to print more. And unfortunately, it has been so cold here in California where we are. And I mean, by cold, I mean you guys would probably be in like short sleeves and, regular shoes. For those of you who actually have actual seasons, not like we do. But it's cold. Anyway, so while we have more traditional... Oh, no, I take that back. I thought we were going to have a more regular, traditional pudding, ooze, slime, puddle of goo type figures. Nope. We're going to have a full-on army. And there are some. If you want just vague, slimy things. But why have those when you can have them go to war? And I thought this was so much fun. So that's more like what this guy, why he's wearing a helmet here. Dragon Trappers Lodge they made a variety of both puddings or slimes and like kind of plasmoid guys. So here's another of the slime breed. But those don't have a lot of character. They're just kind of like, more generic. The real character comes in their infantry models. Now, I do need to do a little bit of cleanup, and I know it's absolutely super zoomed in. And it gets me in the mood for, like, those waffle cookies. Those German or Danish, European waffle cookies with, like, the caramel in the middle. Every time I see these and touch them, I'm like, cookies. But yeah, we've got full-on... Look at this guy. We've got Renaissance cosplaying slimy plasmoid pudding things. And why would you not want to have an army of those? Why have Renaissance ones when you can have pirate ones? To continue the pirate theme. And he's even got a little jacket. I mean, if you ever wanted to just have a very colorful tabletop army, this will do it for you. What would a slime have on its shield? I don't know. What kind of a design, what kind of heraldry would a slime have? And they need heraldry because, well, this is a full-on army, as I said. So you're going to have your standards. You're going to have your champions. You're going to have everything you need for an entire tabletop army. Here's your musician, in fact. He's got a little scarf. Toot toot. I like how they have the effect of like he's blowing air and making his cheeks puff up. If you want just a lone slime all on his own, we've got a nice little adventuring slime. Some deadly dual-wielding slimes. And what's funny is I thought they had just done a plasmoids thing a little while back too. Here's one of their champions. With the sword sticking through him, a nice touch. And they all have a very similar style bottom. So you'll see they have just a little keyed section. All of them do, in fact. And I have the standard on one here. I don't even know whose base is whose at this point. I'd say for most of them, you could probably just get away with whatever, a generic base. That's like a 32mm one. If ever there was an army that would look great multi-based, I think it'd be these guys. And this is just like the tip of the iceberg. There's tons of those guys. And then they went and made some honest-to-goodness plasmoid type models. So here we have like the mage type. There were priests. There were champions and all that jazz. Much more human size. Speaking of human models, in addition to all this stuff, then there's more. There's always more. I swear, that's one of the craziest things with Dragon Trappers Lodges. There's always more where this stuff came from. And I'm like hunting. I thought I had a base for this. I don't know where I put it now. Oh, he's standing on it. In addition to all of these slimy slime stuff, they went and made a whole selection of dragons for the lodge, I guess, for lack of a better term. How they interact with humans. So they have both human form and dragon form. I haven't gotten around to printing any dragons. Like I said, the printer is borked and I just haven't bothered to fix it because it's so cold here. This is one of the human forms of one of the dragons. I thought that was kind of fun. In his robes there. So in addition to all the slimes, if you want big giant dragons, and every dragon of the lodge that they had, I think this was like the researcher magic one. There was like a warlord one. There was a smith. There was like a librarian type. They all had human forms, and then they also had wormling helpers, which was kind of a cool touch. So unfortunately, I didn't get around to those yet because the printer doesn't want to work, but I had to get this guy. Because obviously, if you're going to have a slime army, you're going to need a centerpiece, and what better thing to do that then is have the Slime King. And I saw this, I was like, well, crap, I have got to print that out. And I still have to deal with a lot of the little tiny supports on the inside of his scepter. And I busted his crown on multiple occasions at this point. It didn't want to fit that well. I would actually suggest that maybe it's been tinkered with. Looking at it now, I probably would have reprinted it if I hadn't, again, decided not to bother fixing things at the moment and do it like maybe percentage or two smaller just so it fits in there better. It's really tough. It doesn't fit exactly, but it's a slime. It's not like it's going to be that picky, I think. I love all of the variety of stuff shoved in it, though. It may not be a king slime that I'm used to, but it is a king slime nonetheless. So if you want to do something different, and I mean... I don't know if this is, we're continuing to veer into, well, that's different, and yeah, it works. First we had the dragon army, then we had the farm army, and at some point I'm going to try to get around to painting all this stuff, but at least with the slimes, I'm like, I can just go green, go blue, and call it a day. But you can have the king's entourage here. Here's his royal Swiss guard, I guess. Print a bunch of those. I mean, you got everything you need. And there was like a whole little subsection of pirate ones. You know, I know they had a captain. There were a couple with more guns. There were more of the various just oozy, puddly types. There's a lot of stuff, and there always is. So if you have not had a chance to check out their stuff, if you've got access to a printer, and I want to say you could probably get through Only Games on My Mini Factory if you want to get any of that stuff printed. They'll do it for you for a price, naturally. And I don't know how fast it is, so I can't really recommend that. I'm still waiting on some other stuff from just giving that a go, and I have yet to receive my order, so I can't comment one way or the other. But look, who doesn't want to rumble with a bunch of slimes like this? I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to getting these guys painted. At the very least, I can do that if it stops raining here in California and go out and get everybody primed. And so hopefully we'll see more of these guys on the channel in the near future, with some paint slapped on them, and hopefully we will continue to see just as crazy and enjoyable of models from Dragon Trappers Lodge. We'll have a link down below. You guys can take a look yourselves. Hopefully you find stuff that I'm having as much fun with. And I guess with that said then, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.